Please take your seats. Welcome, friends, family, and the environmental design class of 2026. Today is without a doubt the best day of the academic year, a day we celebrate the incredible accomplishment of completing your undergraduate education. We celebrate not just your hard work, but the shared experience that your loved ones have had alongside you. Congratulations, graduates. My name is Stacy Schulte. I have the honor of serving as the chair of the Department of Environmental Design, and it's a pleasure to be here with you all. A lot of planning went into bringing us together today, so I want to thank everybody who made this event possible, the staff who set things up, the catering team for the reception, and especially Missy Booth and Caitlin Porras, who ensured that every detail ran smoothly. I share this stage with some of the amazing faculty and staff of ENVD, but please join me in thanking all of our faculty and staff. To start us off, I would like to invite Professor Emily Greenwood to the stage to read the University of Colorado Boulder Land Acknowledgement.
Hello, everyone. It is my honor today to read the Land Acknowledgement, authored by Poahawa Key, a Native Hawaiian educator and community leader who is based in Colorado. This Land Acknowledgement is specifically written for Colorado and endorsed by our very own Center for Native American and Indigenous Studies. We acknowledge that we occupy space here in Colorado where the Native Americans, the Arapaho, Cheyenne, Comanche, Kiowa, Lakota, Plains Apache, and Ute have a familial connection and relationship to this land, their ancestral lands. She is from their grandparents and their mother. She has provided for them and for us, and whom we are all obligated to aloha and care for in return. We acknowledge that we are able to occupy this land because of historical events that occurred to the detriment of Native Americans, which caused loss of health, life, language, culture, sovereignty, and the attenuation, if not outright loss, of the familial connection between the indigenous peoples and this land. Therefore, in the spirit of healing and beginning to make things right, we acknowledge that we are able to live on these homelands, originally occupied and tended by the native people of these places, only at a great and continuing cost to the native peoples of this land. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily. If you are looking for a seat, there's several rows of seats behind the graduates that you're welcome to sit in. It is fitting today that we celebrate in this spectacular room with the majestic Flatirons as our backdrop, just as they have been the backdrop for the students of CU for the last 150 years of the university's history. This year also marks the 100th anniversary of architecture being taught at CU Boulder. So you are part of the 100th graduating class connected to that legacy. Even if you are not an architecture major, your journey is built on the foundation of those first design classes taught at this university. What you are, for sure, all of you, is the 52nd graduating class of ENVD. And there are 161 of you graduating today. So today is about you. When we celebrated our 50th anniversary 2 years ago, alumni shared that the hallmark of ENVD has always been a strong sense of community. You are now part of a family of over 7,000 ENVD alumni. And I hope you take that community, your passion, your compassion into the world as forever ENVD buffs. Graduates of 2026, over the last couple of days, I've had the joy of seeing your work in the Senior Showcase, and it's absolutely extraordinary. 4 years ago, you didn't know how to create these things, and you now have the skills, the vision, the ability to go out and shape a built environment that is healthier, more just, and more beautiful. I hope you are all as proud of yourselves as we are of you. Today, we also celebrate one of our own faculty in a special way. Professor Ping Su is retiring after 36 years. I know that many of you had the special privilege of experiencing Ping's transformative style of education. And I think that was really well captured in the ENVD exhibit that is still showing in the gallery that honors her remarkable career. So when you're checking out the Senior Showcase, if you haven't already, please make sure to check out that gallery exhibit. Ping is not with us today, but I hope that she can feel this. We will miss you, Ping. Before we honor each graduate this afternoon, we will hear from a few of our faculty and staff and students and recognize some special achievements amongst our seniors. First, we will hear from Dean Lori Bergen, the founding dean of our college, the College of Communication, Media, Design, and Information. Please join me in welcoming Dean Bergen.
Well, thank you so much, Stacy. It's really an honor to be part of this celebration and to be sharing the stage with my colleagues in environmental design. And congratulations to all of the graduates. This is a moment that you've worked so hard for, and it's finally here. I'm honored to be here to share this occasion with you. And this class of graduates will always be special to me, because the class of 2026 is the first to graduate from the renamed CMDI. For the friends and family here today, we changed our name. We had added design, and we're so happy to have you as part of our college. Halfway through our graduates' time at the university, they learned that environmental design would become part of what is now the College of Communication, Media, Design, and Information. And I know that navigating change is always hard. And I'm grateful to the graduates here in the room for your enthusiasm in working through the challenges that came with our integration. And I'm also grateful for what you bring to our college, your curiosity, your determination, and your optimism for how to make the college your own. I'm also confident that those are qualities that, along with the adaptability you obviously have demonstrated as students, that will help you be successful in whatever comes next. Because as we all know, nothing ever goes exactly like a plan. Your college experience, while rewarding and transformational, probably didn't follow the script you thought it would when you first arrived in Boulder. And the world that you're graduating into definitely isn't what you imagined 4 years ago. So learning how to pivot, how to seize opportunities when faced with challenges, and having the courage to confront the unknown. You developed each of these talents in your classes and in finding your place in a new college. And wherever your path goes, when you leave our campus, your journey will be much richer as a result of these experiences. So I truly am proud of each of you and impressed by the creativity and curiosity that you bring to your work and to our college. So to the class of 2026, my most heartfelt congratulations to each of you on all that you've accomplished. And now go forth and make us proud. Congratulations.
Thank you, Lori. One of the greatest joys of being a faculty member is seeing the resilient, passionate, and kind human beings that our students are. One such student is Alan Harder. I have had had the privilege of getting to know Alan in his role as the Vice President of Environmental Design Student Government, and I am delighted to introduce him as your student representative speaker.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Stacy. Hello, my name is Alan Harder. I'm the Vice President of the Environmental Design Student Government. My role is to listen to the student body, encouraging student engagement while fostering better relations with our student orgs and faculty members here at ENVD. It has been a joy to work along with my board members, creating a strong foundation for our programs as we merge with CMDI this next fall semester. I want to thank my friends, family, and especially the faculty here at ENVD for showing me how to fall in love with design and all the strings attached to it. And to my peers, I had a lot of difficulty in finding what I wanted to say in this speech. But if I can leave you all with anything, I wanted to recall the 3 things that I've learned in these last 4 years, and I hope that they can resonate with you. First, I got into design because I have a deep love for pop culture, and more selfishly, I wanted to design a world that conformed to my worldview, which, to be honest, at the time, was kind of limited to Star Wars, instant ramen, and Legos. I actually saw design as a discipline to conquer and win. However, only later did I see design as a collaborative tool for creating more sensible and beautiful environments. The world is certainly not linear, nor are people, our thoughts, and our destinies, or whatever you like to call it. Instead, they are subjective and individual. It's up to us to decide what our purpose will be for our world and as to how much we want to amplify our designs, ourselves, and our thoughts. So please, design with intention. 2, talking and meeting with others and risking your character sincerely is how we connect with others. We're not products, but I realize that we often read people like one, quickly and without much of a second thought. Talk with those that don't talk the same way as you. Talk with those that don't walk the same way of life as you. An hour in the presence of somebody else's time always gives the reason for having the benefit of the doubt. Tell that teacher you appreciate them. Ask out that person that you've always liked, even when it wasn't in your favor. Tell your friends honesty because we don't learn from false praises. And lastly, I've had difficulty with this, but I think it's the most important one. Really love yourself. Have confidence in your craft, and find those that are just as obsessed with the work that you are, even if it isn't design. You will live in your work in some way or another, so you ought to love it. Don't let it suck your soul. Don't be afraid to settle, as every tomorrow is worth more than $1 million. Make sure you treat your mind and your body like it's worth that much too. And you know, oftentimes I feel like I'm not the smartest person in the room, and I'm still really shy, and I'm really awkward. And I'm often a more wishful person than a doer. But if you see me in 30 years doing remedial bathroom elevations, I want you to know that I've succeeded because I still love what I do. And that I didn't give up. I hope that you all can take that same sentiment in whatever you do as well. I will miss you all very, very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan. We will miss you too. Each year, we invite a distinguished alum to deliver the graduation address. And this year is no different, but also extra special because Jade Polizzi is not just an alum, she has been teaching in ENVD for over 20 years. Professor Polizzi truly is ENVD. She graduated from the program, she teaches in it, and she even married a fellow ENVD alum. Jade is an architect, an educator, a design leader whose career bridges bridges practice, community engagement, and innovative teaching. She's a licensed architect in Colorado. She earned her master's from CU Denver and graduated with honors from ENVD. She began teaching while still in graduate school and then joined the faculty of ENVD just 2 weeks after finishing her master's degree. Since that first auspicious studio, Jade has been deeply committed to design education, teaching across the full curriculum and shaping the experience of thousands of students through hands-on experiential learning. What stands out to me most is Jade's commitment to beyond the classroom. Like the summers her and her family spent camping with students in New Mexico, designing and building at a meditation center. By all accounts, a life-changing experience for students. Or spearheading our 50-year anniversary project and connecting with over 50 alumni to research our history. Or supervising an independent study to help students create artwork for the building. Or founding and running the ENVD Living Learning Community. These are just a few recent examples of how Jade truly makes ENVD a better place. Please join me in welcoming Professor Polizzi, our 2026 Distinguished Alum.
Thank you. Thank you, Stacy. Okay. I have a confession to make. I'm a graduation junkie. I've been known to attend 5 or more in a single season. It is literally my favorite day. I can't get enough of the ceremonies, the happy families, the speakers sharing their words of wisdom, or in some cases, just their words. Starting violin lessons 3 years ago, Pomp and Circumstance was one of the first songs I learned to play, and tears always well up in my eyes during the graduation procession. It is truly an honor to be asked to be this year's ENVD commencement speaker for the class of 2026. You all made it. Congratulations. But diplomas aside, I'd like to review the building process with you one last time. This graduation is the last ENVD will have in this format for the foreseeable future, and this class holds special meaning to me. I've taught all of you in Tech 1 and History of the Built Environment. Yours was the class where I began as the director of the Living Learning Community, and in this role, I've attended many evening and weekend events with you. I've gone ice skating with you, taken field trips to Denver, and sat in Chautauqua and meditated while counting pollinators beside you. Many of you worked as TAs or as mentors for the LLC program, and I can say from experience that this graduating class really stands out for the way that you are connected to and support each other. Environmental design is a synthesis of understanding the pressing problems of the world and solving them through modifying the built environment. ENVD is not just a degree, it is a way to see and improve our world. Our alumni have done amazing things. Did you know the American Institute of Architects Vice President and Chief Executive Officer, Carol Wedge, is an alumna of our ENVD program? We have past students who are partners and employees at such firms as Olson Kundig, Sasaki, the Gale Institute, and Bjark Ingels Group. Our graduates are designers who develop, construct, and produce goods across the world. The ENVD imprint, while only a little over 50 years old, is impressive. So we are builders at our core, and when you begin a new building, you always start with the site. Look at this site. Look at where we are. It was easy upon arrival to find beauty in a place like Boulder, but not all of your starting points will be so empirically attractive, so unproblematic. When graduating from ENVD with no job lined up, I did not perceive the landscape of my future as some verdant pasture surrounded by big skies and pristine mountains. Becoming a professional and contributing seemed like an impossible task. But I did have a plan. I was going to be an architect specializing in historic preservation with a side gig of designing and selling furniture alongside the work of Charles and Ray Eames at Design Within Reach. It was a vision full of potential and eager to be realized, but that landscape at graduation looked very different. So to pass the time until my employment could really take off and my plan could take shape, I volunteered for Habitat for Humanity, working side by side with a group of inspiring 85-year-old World War II veterans for every one of their available build days. The next step to consider in a new build is the foundation. The creativity and exactitude in a degree in design sets it apart from all other areas of study. I love starting with a blank slate and later moving on to solve countless technical problems. I had been trained to challenge myself, to push my limits, and to stay dedicated to whatever lay ahead. ENVD is not for the faint at heart. You have to be intrepid, but here on the ground, I was getting a firsthand look at how buildings are actually put together. Within months of volunteering with Habitat for Humanity, I convinced them they needed an assistant construction manager. By employing a different kind of creativity and a bit of hustle, I found a way to get hired as an AmeriCorps Vista volunteer that would cost Habitat practically nothing. It was in this job that I learned not only the practicalities of how to build, but that I love to teach. The story continues, and if we fast forward a few decades, I've now completed 23 years of teaching at ENVD. In the end, I became an educator. I am now a licensed architect, but my practice is here at ENVD. The framing. As designers, we learn the steps of the design process. Life itself is similar to that process. You begin with a dream. This is important, but like you learned in studio, don't be afraid to try out a variety of ideas. Just like those low-fidelity models, the first jobs, relationships, and cities that you explore will help you learn what you enjoy, and just as importantly, what you don't. When trying things out, explore the boundaries. Think of the most amazing experiences that you want, the things that scare and excite you, and go after those ideas. You can always scale back. But don't give up that initial dream if what you find yourself doing doesn't feel quite right at first. Your education is the structure that you can build from. It is something you've committed a fair portion of your life to. Stay in the field, have patience, even if the first jobs or classes in a graduate program don't seem to be the love connection you thought they would be. There's always something to be learned from whatever experience you are in. I urge you to not prematurely abandon what you have built without giving it time. Windows and doors. The reason I've stayed as a part of ENVD for so long is our community. You have no doubt experienced this as well. We are a small program on a large campus. Remember when you were a freshman 4 years ago, living on the top floor of the Willard dorm? You had Shaheen's 8 a.m. Intro to Environmental Design class, and you would all get up and migrate to class together. You took studios together and completed the same assignments, helping each other along the way. Over the past 4 years, you've built a new family, a collective group of young designers who want to improve the world. The knowledge you've learned at CU is important, but the true gem of your education is the connections you've created. The people you are sitting with may be in your life for a long time. Hell, they might end up as your business partner or your spouse, as mine did. You never know when you may need Dennis Swanson to help you find the right bus to catch, Ian Primer to explain the most current and complex architectural theory, or Ben Centeno to brighten your day with his contagious smile. Cherish those connections. And if you realize you didn't get as involved as you would have liked to, I have good news. The connections available are endless. Join local clubs, attend lectures, movies, concerts that you find interesting. Continue to pursue your hobbies that you enjoy. Don't stop learning or being involved just because this part of your education is complete. Our connections help us to focus outward, to see the world beyond our own context, and provide us motivation to give back. The roof. When a stranger, an acquaintance, or a relative asks you what you study, your response may be environmental design. This is the degree that you have on your diploma. But hopefully, you've also learned other life skills in your time here. One of my favorite student quotes came from Jack Whistler a few years ago. He told me, "ENVD taught me to not be embarrassed to do weird things in public." This was in reference to him fondling exotic fruit in a market for a color theory drawing assignment. If we are able to teach you to be confident in who you are, to do weird things in public, and to find shelter in your own individuality, then your environmental design degree has been a resounding success, because that is one of the best lessons in life. Interiors. I say this not to intimidate you, but to make you aware of all the potential you have. Do not discount or shrink away from honesty and vulnerability. You will advance more quickly in life engaging with your weaknesses than you will by pretending that they are not there. When touring Coburn Partners last month, I reconnected with 4 ENVD alumni. One of them was Lizzie Summer, who graduated in 2023. She said to me, "Before I started my job, I thought to myself, perhaps I'm the only person in the world who isn't capable of learning Revit." We all feel like imposters at times. It's important to own that, but we are all capable of finding a place for ourselves doing something we enjoy. Lizzie did learn Revit and has been happily employed since finding her first internship. As you take these next steps, I encourage you to embody some of your classmates' characteristics. Be like Mia Winstead, who takes on every opportunity available. Or Zach Steiner, who quite possibly lived in ENVD while completing his degree. Take pride in your degree, and you may be back at a future ENVD graduation, like Chad Holtzinger, an alum of our program who gets to watch his son Wyatt walk across the stage today. And lastly, it is time for moving in. Graduates, if you are anything like me, your building will never be complete, but that is the beauty of life. I am sad to send you off into the world. I have faith that you will succeed, but I will miss those chance encounters in the hallways or at the top of the spiral stairs. My hope is that you will stay connected to your roots at ENVD, come back as jurors for reviews, keep in touch with us as well as each other, and know that I am glad to be in the world with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jade. We are glad to be in the world with you as well. Each year, we recognize ENVD distinguished graduates who have earned the highest GPA in their major and the distinguished graduates with the highest GPA overall in ENVD. Azza Kamal and Elena Sabinson will introduce our Spring 2026 Distinguished and Outstanding Graduates.
Okay, knowing I'm short, what a day. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Azza Kamal. I'm Associate Teaching Professor in the Department of Environmental Design. This afternoon, I have the honor of presenting 2 amazingly distinguished graduates of ENVD. The first is the 2026 ENVD Distinguished Graduate with the highest GPA in landscape architecture is Taylor Martin. Please stand up. Please stay standing. The second is the 2026 ENVD Distinguished Graduate with the highest GPA in architecture is Kara Tyson. Congratulations, Taylor and Kara. You may now be seated. Also this year, ENVD has the pleasure of celebrating 2, not only 1, 2 outstanding graduates with the highest GPA across ENVD department. The first ENVD outstanding graduate is Sustainable Planning and Urban Design graduate Tyler Tatman. Let me say a couple of words about Tyler, because I had the opportunity and the privilege of getting to know him up close. I had the pleasure of knowing Tyler for nearly 3 academic years. Tyler is a bright, accomplished, and deeply respected student who consistently sets his own high standards and then surpasses them year after year. It comes at no surprise that he's being recognized today. Whether in classroom, in studio work, or in his role as a teaching assistant, whom I had the privilege also of working with him in 2101 class, Tyler demonstrates the same unwavering character, determined, resourceful, and generous in supporting others. He actively expands his knowledge to advance thoughtful, sustainable, and impactful approaches to design and planning. Equally impressive is Tyler's longstanding commitment to our campus student ambassador organization. Over the past 3.5 years, he has grown into the role of co-president of this organization, leading a 5-member executive team, guiding 115 ambassadors, some of them here around the room, yes, and helping serve more than 60,000 annual visitors. His leadership reflects both dedication and genuine investment in our community. This is specifically a proud moment for me and for everyone who has had the opportunity to work with Tyler. Please join me in congratulating Tyler Tatman and wishing him the very best as he moves forward.
Hello, ENVD graduates, family, and friends. My name is Tyler Tatman. I am an urban planning major from Evergreen, Colorado. I am honored to be one of the valedictorians of the environmental design program. ENVD is a very special and unique community here on campus. Living in Willard Hall my first year, as many of us did, was a wonderful experience. I attended nearly every first-year experience event, whether that was going to the Denver Art Museum and Meow Wolf, having dinner at the Dushanbe Tea House, and bringing some color into the ENVD basement studios. Those are some of the experiences that I had my first year that really stuck with me, to name a few. I've certainly been able to connect with this program over the past 4 years outside of ENVD as well. Pulling all-nighters my first year making architecture models, which is the reason I decided not to do architecture. TAing for both Aza and Val. That ePod studio where making my lamp nearly drove me to tears. Getting a pretty big tetanus scare on a site visit in Gun Barrel. And of course, working in my senior capstone with Paige, Katie, and Ricky. All of these experiences are a very large part of ENVD. This is a tight-knit community where I've made lifelong friends, and I am infinitely grateful for that. Of course, we're here for more than just fun memories. We're here for an education. Now, 4 years into the world of design, I can't unnotice certain things in the world, as I'm sure you have all experienced. I consciously notice every bike lane, geek out over redesigned intersections in town, and I've learned to really appreciate the design of buildings, products, parks, and cities. At the same time, ENVD has taught me to identify where these spaces fall short. I also notice gaps in the sidewalk network, excluded populations in cities, and car-centric infrastructure. And I think that's the biggest gift that ENVD has given us, the ability to identify injustices in this world and to work to correct them. We are certainly entering the real world in interesting times, but I see that as an opportunity. All this change in our world presents the opportunity to improve the built environment, an opportunity to create more equitable spaces, buildings, and cities. Take advantage of this opportunity. Go out, do great things, and change the game, as I know we all will. Sco Buffs and Sco ENVD, thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Elena Sabinson, an assistant professor here at ENVD. And I am honored to introduce the next outstanding ENVD graduate, Environmental Products of Design graduate, Evie Warner. I met Evie during my first year at ENVD while teaching an ePod studio with Jared Arp. In true ENVD fashion, Evie was passionate about more than one of the majors and was trying to decide which studio to take. Evie found us after the first week, when the class was already at capacity, introduced herself and said something to the effect of, "I know this class is full, but I think I belong here. I really love to make things." And Evie has made so many incredible things during her time here. An organizer for oxygen tubes for hikers with hypoxia, a fidget that helps people cope with anxiety, an urban cohabitation lab to teach people about native bees, and most recently, the cutest chicken coop I have ever seen. Go check out the showcase. Not only has Evie excelled in all of her classes, she has dedicated countless hours giving back to our community, working as a first-year mentor, showing new students the ropes, helping Jade Polizzi document ENVD's history, and serving as secretary and treasurer of the Industrial Designers Society of America student group. Evie has also worked as a pollinator advocate for the city of Boulder. She is a friend to all creatures, great and small. Beyond her thoughtfulness and creativity and skills in design, anyone who has met Evie has encountered her compassion and kindness. Evie, I am so glad that we made room for you in that studio. We couldn't be more proud of everything that you have achieved, and I can't wait to see what you do next. Thanks.
Thank you, Elena. Sorry, guys. Thank you, Elena. That was too sweet, bringing me to tears. If I am fully honest with you all, I did not exactly know what the term environmental design meant before I came here. Well, over the past 4 years, I've learned a lot about what it means to be an environmental designer. When I was in high school, I loved making things. On the rare occasions of rainfall in California, my brother and I would fold paper boats to race down the gutter on our hilly street. Over several rains, we iterated our boats, transitioning from paper to aluminum foil for water resistance and adding paper clips to adjust the weight distribution. I wrote about this in my college application, and at the end I wrote, "I am an environmentalist. I am a maker. I hope that college will help me find my place between the two worlds, creating more for nature than just origami boats." ENVD is that place. Freshman year, I was able to explore what interdisciplinary design felt like. Although we separate design into different fields, they are much more entangled than I realized. In my sophomore year, when it was time to pick my focus in ENVD, I wavered. I loved landscape for its environmentalist focus, but in school, I wanted to get hands-on experience of building something real every semester. Choosing product design was a tough decision, but I realized that it didn't mean I couldn't be involved in landscape. In junior year, I became Bee Girl. I realized that I love how pollinators can make people in the middle of a city feel like they are connected to nature. For my senior capstone project, I had the ability to use a hybrid of ENVD's disciplines. I was able to bring my purpose of connecting people to nature together with a built object. I created a sculptural wall for education about native bees based on research, expert advice, and community involvement. I do not believe I could have done this project in any other program. Here's some history for you. The environmental design program evolved from an architectural engineering program, but became environmental design in 1970. In line with its founding principles, this program is unique in the holistic way that we approach projects, viewing every problem through multiple lenses while being distinctly rooted in design philosophy. I hope that in the coming years, ENVD is respected and strengthened, rather than diluted, because there is nothing else like it. Thank you and congratulations to the graduating class of 2026.
Hi, everybody. My name is Nate Jones, and I am the director of the ENVD Latin Honors Program, in addition to some other things. And I am here, and it is my privilege to identify our 6 Latin Honors recipients here in environmental design. But before I do that, I recognize some folks might not quite know what Latin Honors is exactly, so I'll explain. So every year, a group of high-achieving environmental design students has the opportunity to undertake a full-year research project. And when I say full year, I mean full year. They do stuff during the summer too. So over the course of that year, they identify a faculty member who works with them through that time. We call them their faculty chair. They undertake research, they write up a thesis. For many of the projects, they also include a creative design work. And all this culminates in March every year as the students present their projects in a public symposium, and then they defend them in a committee with faculty members. It's a rigorous experience, and it's awesome to watch these young folks do it every single year. And I realized this morning, kind of thinking through the past years, that ENVD Latin Honors Program is exactly 10 years old. It was started in 2015 by a colleague named Giorgio Lindsay. And of course, that group carried on to the end of 2016. And then she passed it along to my friend and colleague, Emily Greenwood, back there, and she directed the program for several years, and then she passed it on to me in 2023. All right, so right now I'm going to identify our 6 Latin Honors recipients. When one receives Latin Honors, their projects are deemed with a designation. That designation may be cum laude, magna cum laude, or summa cum laude. All right, so Latin Honors students, when I call your name, please stand. I will identify the pre-colon part of your project, or title of your project. Then I will identify your honors designation, and also name your faculty chair. All right. Mia Winstead. The power we hold, summa cum laude, and project chair, Marianne Holbert. Stay standing. Oh, you stood. Owen Barton. Project title, Design to Heal, summa cum laude, and project chair, Nazreen Mansour. Paige Jager. Project title, To Reconnect, summa cum laude, project chair, Stacy Schulte. Channing Miller. Project title, Tracing the Empire's Grid. Honors designation, magna cum laude. And project chair, John Hersey. Dennis Swanson. Project title, A Second Downtown. Designation, summa cum laude. And project chair, Azza Kamal. Zachary Steiner. Project title, Architectures of Ethnic Cleansing, designation summa cum laude, and project chair, Sophie Chan. Congratulations, Latin Honors recipients. And you may sit. Also, by the way, for anybody who would like to see and learn about these Latin Honors projects, they're all on display in the ENVD building in 134A. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Hugo Arriola. I am the Recruiter and Diverse Scholars Program Coordinator for Environmental Design.
Hello, everyone. I'm Valeria Now, and I'm a faculty member at ENVD, and I'm the co-lead of the EDDS program. Okay. As part of this graduation, Hugo and I are honored to celebrate the contributions of the environmental design diverse scholar. Our EDDS learning community, specifically, we want to recognize our graduating students, the leaders that are with us here today.
The EDDS program is a scholarship community committed to empowering and enriching the experiences of our student leaders. Our mission is to ensure that the next generation of designers reflects the actual diversity of our world. transforming both the face and the social mission of the design industry.
We recognize that you are entering the professional world at a complex time. In the current national climate, conversations around diversity, equity, and inclusion are often met with challenge and shifting perspectives. For many of you, your very presence in this field is a form of advocacy.
Despite these external pressures, the value of EDDS remains a constant. You have demonstrated an academic excellence and a commitment to making design more inclusive, even when the path has not been easy. We encourage you to carry that same grit into your careers, advocate for yourselves, build your networks, and never let political noise dim your design vision.
To our EDDS alumni who continue to mentor the next generation, thank you for keeping the door open. And to our graduates, we wish you the absolute best as you become leaders and architects in a meaningful change.
We would now like to ask our graduating EDDS scholars to stand and be recognized.
Michelle Alvarado Sanchez.
Dawa Sherpa.
I
saw her too.
Tamara Islas Morales. Thank you.
Thank you, Ugo and Val. We will now recognize students graduating with distinction and high distinction. Students who have achieved an accumulated CU GPA between 3.5 and 3.75 are graduating with distinction. Students who have achieved a GPA above 3.75 receive high distinctions. Students receiving distinction and high distinction, please stand to be recognized. And now, for our main event, we will recognize the members of the graduating class. You will all cross the stage in the order that you're seated. Nate Jones will be calling names. As you now know, Nate's the Director of Advising and Professional Development for ENVD and CMDI. Nate has practiced diligently to pronounce your names correctly based on the cards that you provided, but please keep in mind that pronunciations are not always perfect, but Nate is doing his best. I will also be standing on stage to hand you your diploma cover. The actual diploma is not inside. That will be coming to you later.
Alan Harder. Tyler Tatman. Evie Warner. Andrew McDonald. Zach Steiner. Dennis Swanson. Garrett Tyson. Tyler Byrne. Kaya Galens. Amelie Correa. Mia Winstead. Taylor Martin. Leah Rapka. Zoe Swenson. Mia Soto. Grace Jackman. Elion Fisher. Laurel Yule. Eva Bracalente. Hey. Gemma Carlson. Noel Kramenhawk. Naya Jurgensen. Paige Jager. Ricky Gallegos. Sarah Cowell. Tara Hitting. Davis Grunman. Ryan Birmingham. Eva Carvajales. Ryan Kelly. Otto Craddock. Wyatt Holtzinger. Abigail Dwyer. Nice to see you in person, finally. Nikki Krosavi. Helena DeSoto. Zay Pina. Abigail Johnson. Grayson Toogood. Louis Spelios. David Banker. Ahmed Al-Sarraj. Owen Coolhill. Zach Plotkin. Colin Eisenach. Klaus Hyman. Annie Perigine. Ellis French. Dawa Yang Sherpa. Dylan Dodds. Yael Leila. Peter Frederick Phineas Scanlon. Kieran Idle. Dylan Perka. Rachel Whitfield. John Musoff. Machi Merton. Jai Fallows. William Adams. Gabriel Watkins. Jacob Martin. Cody Glastetter. Matthew Smith. Brandon Hayes. Grayson Staples. Max Vima. Logan Errol. Trace Taranto. Carter Bernstein. Tyrion Yoder. Stephen Callahan. Toby Jones. Aiden Wigger. Owen Barton. Benjamin Centeno. Isabella Frost. Jacqueline Wynn. Maxine Inman. Ava Pelster. Evangeline Christoph. Brooklyn Getkin. Isla Arnsberg Tischart. Wait, I'm gonna do that again. Isla Arnsberg Shearhart. Devin Lefebvre. Pilar Agustin. Caitlin Hope Wendling. Olivia Brosnan. Josephine Eck. JC Zoe. Gabriela Carnavale. Taylor Cloyne. Oscar Mestres. Ava Sandak. Catherine Ridgway. Natalie Madeira. Quinn Etheridge. Emily Jansen. Drew Gorman. Ethan Sullivan. Caleb Siegel. Claire Cameron. Sienna Fahey. Rocco Gabriel. Jada Hernandez. Tamara Islas Morales. Daniel Fellows. Amid Dastiger. Kai Bibich. Kai. Jose Bañuelos. Thomas Primer. Kensington Alapit. Addison Johnson. Emily Kwan. Samantha Clark. Margot Eldred. Alexander Woodland. Nicole Chung. Channing Miller. Hey. Shira Feinberg. Hannah Hillen. Charlotte Fex. Isabella Hill. Isabella Paradiso. Mackenzie Hammond. Grace Jenks. Maggie Ray Brown. Julia Anderson. Kara Danford. Mia Archuleta. Annalie Lindgren. John Davis. Valerie Warzowski. Natalie Free. William Neal. Alexander Torrey. Wyatt Geezy. Gabriel Rodriguez. Rosemary O'Farrell. Meredith Case. Emi Takaoka. Emilio Adams. Alex McKinnon. Brady Johnson. Max Finnemore. Charlie Hubbard. Cameron Kolinchak. Doris Kaler. Caroline Gilchrist. Nicholas Leba. Emma Taylor.
Thank you, Nate. Congratulations, graduates. You may now move your tassel from the right to the left. Each of you has friends and family who supported you along the way, your challenges and your successes, and many of those friends and family are here today. So students, I'd like to ask you to stand up, turn around, and join me in a round of applause for your friends and family. I'd like to ask everybody to give one last final round of applause for our 2026 graduates. You all deserve all the applause in the world. Congratulations. That concludes our ceremony. I would like to invite everybody to join us for refreshments in the back of the room.